Welcome back to part 4 of my game collection series, and this one's going to be an interesting one because I originally didn't plan this to be part 4, but I completely forgot about it, and I figured I'd best do it now since, this is probably one of my smaller collections, and I really don't have a lot to say about most of these games because I literally have no memories with them at all, but today's video we're going to be talking about my Super Nintendo collection. I can't believe I forgot to mention this in my game room tour video, but I think a good part of why I forgot to mention this, as well as another part of my collection like the Game Boy stuff, is because I have this kind of hidden away. This is generally just in a box up in my closet, and my Game Boy games are usually in the briefcase and they're underneath the bed. But reason I don't have this hooked up is because I think I need to get better AV cables, because I think overall this works still and the power cord works and everything, because it'll turn on and stuff, but I can't get the picture to work. So I either need to get better AV cables or somehow figure out how to hook this up via S-Video or something, which I try my best to the S-Video part, but I can never get it to work for some reason. But yeah, I can't really hook this up right now because I can't really play on it, But I hope to get the stuff one day to actually be able to play this game, and this is actually first home console I ever owned as a kid, and this has some of my earliest gaming experiences on here, but even then my gaming experiences aren't a lot. There's only like a handful of the games that I own that I really actually remember playing. Some other stuff I don't even know why I have. It's just, I don't know, just somehow got it, I guess. My mom just bought them for me or something back in the day. But yeah, this was one of my introductions into gaming in general, and I guess it was pretty good because I stuck with it several years after the Super Nintendo. But yeah, there's definitely a small bit of nostalgia with this one. And while I'm at it, just showing off my Super Nintendo setup, I've also got some controllers here. Got 2 of them. They seem to be in pretty good condition. The buttons seem pretty solid. They all seem to work, I guess, even though I haven't been able to truly test them out. But yeah, they've been barely used, so they should still be working, And I didn't mention this one showing the Super Nintendo off, but I don't know if you noticed, but it's actually pretty in fairly good condition, I guess. There's some dirt on it that I need to get off of it, but it's not all yellowed and stuff. It's actually still pretty gray and it's pretty good condition, That's probably because it's just been a box for most of these years, so it hasn't really been exposed to oxygen to get all that yellow color and stuff. But when I actually set it up, I'll try and keep it from getting yellowed. And for the last of my Super Nintendo accessories, we have this big old thing. The Super Scope. Super NES Super Scope. Only have one game for this, I think, which I'll show fairly soon, but yeah, I definitely remember using this back in the day for the one game that I was probably mentioning. But yeah, it's a pretty cool accessory, I guess. It's freaking huge, and yeah. Now we'll sort of start to get into my Super Nintendo collection, but really quick, I also want to show off this thing that I have, which is the Super Game Boy adapter, which you could probably see right there on the label. I paid $5 for this back in the day, or more so than Mom did, because I was a kid back then. I couldn't really buy stuff, I was a wee little lad. But yeah, that kind of sucks about this, that there's a freaking pre-owned sticker on the label. But other than that, this seems to be pretty good condition. I also have a little dust thing for it, as I do for a lot of my other games. But yeah, I don't really remember using this back in the day a lot. But I guess whenever I want to actually use it, collect more Game Boy games and stuff, I could use this to play it on my Super Nintendo, which is cool. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is a fairly valuable accessory sort of cartridge. I think they go for quite a bit online, so yeah, it's nice to have this thing, so I don't have to buy this at a very expensive price. And now we'll actually get into my Super Nintendo games, and starting us off, we have probably one of the best Super Nintendo games ever made, and that's Donkey Kong Country. This is definitely one I remember playing back in the day. As I mentioned before, I also had this on Game Boy Color, and I think I've played that one a lot more than this one, but I think I have very faint memories of playing this on Super Nintendo as well. But being a little kid back then, I never really got far, and I never really tried to beat the game or anything. But it's probably definitely better than the Game Boy Color version, and when I get my Super Nintendo working, I will definitely consider replaying this game and probably beating it. Next up we have Family Feud. This is definitely one of those games that I don't know why I own, because I don't think I would have asked for this as a kid, because I don't think I even knew what Family Feud was as a kid. But yeah, I own it, so that's cool, I guess. I think this is just one of those games that my mom bought, maybe for herself, or maybe for someone, a friend of mine that was older or something, I don't know. But, yeah, Family Feud on Super Nintendo. In this game, I really don't know why I have it in my collection, but less to the unlikely. If you're aware of this game, maybe from AVGN stuff, you'll know that this game isn't particularly good. It's actually a really kind of weird game. You know, you play as a awkward nerd that gets flung into this world, and it's like a platformer and shit. I really don't know about it, but apparently, according to AVGN, it's not all that good or something. I don't know. I haven't played it myself, so I can't be the judge of that personally, but yeah, it's really interesting that I own this particular game, because, I don't know, it seems just like a really random game to have, you know, as a little kid, even more random than a Family Feud and some other stuff that I have, but yeah, less to be unlikely. Apparently we got this from a Blockbuster, because there's some sort of Blockbuster type stickers on the back, but I'm not going to show that off, because it also has an address, but I mean, technically I don't live there anymore, but I just don't feel like showing the sticker, you know, it's not all that special, but yeah, very interesting addition to my collection. Another interesting game, and that's Pac-Man 2, New Adventures. My mom probably got this for me as a kid because, you know, it was Pac-Man and kids like Pac-Man and stuff like that. But, yeah, if you're aware of Pac-Man 2, you know, it's a very different sort of Pac-Man game. It's basically nothing like the original sort of Pac-Man game. It's like a point-and-click adventure game, but Pac-Man's kind of an idiot and a douchebag at certain points. So yeah, it's a very interesting sort of point-and-click adventure game on Super Nintendo. And yeah, I guess when I get my Super Nintendo working, I'll give this a try. I'd really like to experience it for myself, because it seems very interesting. So yeah, Pac-Man 2. A pretty cool game that I own in my collection, I would say, and that's Pilot Wings. It's another game I never thought I'd ask for as a kid, but I own it for some reason. But you know, it's in pretty good condition, actually. I think it's like in brand new condition, all said and done. I've got the nice little dust thing to keep dust out of it and whatnot. So yeah, I guess I'll try this one out as well. Pilot Wings. And now we have RoboCop versus the Terminator. Again, don't really know why I own this as a kid. I never knew what RoboCop or Terminator was as a kid. I don't know, my mom just got it for some reason. And the thing sucks about this is there's like some dirt or something up there, so it's kind of stupid. But yeah, the rest of the cards say okay. Never played this game, or if I did, I don't remember playing it as a kid, and this is definitely one I'd really like to, you know, check out when I get my Super Nintendo working. Hopefully it's not a terrible license game. I don't think it is, if memory serves me right about hearing about this game. I think it's, like, decent. I don't know, though, but yeah. RoboCop vs. Terminator. Here's another game from my childhood, and that's Super Mario World. Definitely a must-own on the Super Nintendo. It's one of the best Super Nintendo games ever made, and a lot of people argue as being one of the best Super Mario games ever made. And yeah, I definitely remember playing this one as a kid. I can definitely picture, you know, playing as Mario to some of the worlds and stuff. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. I remember it being a lot of fun as a kid. and I'd definitely like to play this again because, you know, I'd really like to play it now and kind of really enjoy it and have fun with it. So yeah, this will definitely be one of the first games I play when I have my Super Nintendo working. Top Gear 2. Yet again, another game I don't know why I own because I never asked for it as a kid, and because I never knew what Top Gear was as a kid either, so I don't know, it's just another random game my mom bought, I guess. But, yeah, hopefully it's not a bad racing game, I guess. Yeah, I'll just have to check it out when I get my Super Nintendo working. Wheel of Fortune. I can definitely say this is probably one my mom bought for herself because I know she likes Wheel of Fortune, and it definitely seems like a game she'd buy for herself or something. But yeah, we have Wheel of Fortune on the Super Nintendo. Never played as a kid, never asked for it, you know. But yeah, I guess I'll have to check this one out too. You know, I hope it's like a fun little simulation of Wheel of Fortune on Super Nintendo. It might be, might not, we'll see. And finally we have Yoshi's Safari, which is the only game that I know works with my Super Scope, and it's the one that I primarily played with it. And this is definitely one I played back in the day, because I remember using the Super Scope and riding on Yoshi's back and shooting stuff. So yeah, I definitely remember playing this game. Probably one of the more vivid ones I remember playing on the Super Nintendo, but yeah, I guess it's a fun little on-rail shooter. It's definitely an interesting game, you know, because it's probably one of the only ones that actually use the Super Scope in a very good way too. And yeah, it's a pretty good game, and it'd be kind of interesting for them to make a, you know, modern sequel to this or something, or remake it or something, you know. And, yeah, it would have been really interesting if they did a Yoshi Safari game on Wii. I don't know why they never did that, you know. But I suppose they can maybe work it out somehow on the Switch, because the Switch has some motion controls to it as well, you know, so who knows, maybe we'll get another Yoshi Safari game at some point. And that is all of my Super Nintendo stuff. Hopefully this video wasn't too long. I don't think it was. It shouldn't be, because I didn't really have a whole lot to say about these games, because I, you know, literally have like no memories with them at all, really nothing to say about them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and again, stay tuned, still more videos to come.